Today on Fresno State Focus, why it's so important for students to vote.
Plus, what does trap, neuter, return mean to Fresno State's campus and their stray animals who roam here?
Plus, one of Fresno State's very own is back from the Paris Olympics. You'll get to meet him and find out what he did there. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Marisol Rubio.
And I'm Brian Welch.
A petition that surfaced last week demanding the resignation of Fresno State President Jimenez Sandoval has caused a lot of controversy.
Efren Mata is here with a collegiate news editor who's been covering the story. Efren?
Thanks, Brian. Joining me today is Jasmine Alvarado, the news editor for the Collegian. Thanks so much for stopping by today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So let's jump right in. There's been a lot of confusion, some conflicting reports. What's going on?
So the news broke Friday morning with the president addressing his colleagues, saying that he was surprised at a recent petition calling for his resignation. And from there, all the news organizations kind of jumped on it. The Fresno Bee released an article, ABC 30 did, I believe JV Wire, my bad. And everybody kind of was just jumping at the fact and trying to get the news out there. And they all kind of were saying different things and just addressing different parts of the petition and talking about administration. And nobody really sat down to get the facts.
So right now, do we have any facts? Does the CSU Employees Union have a firm stance, or are we still confused?
So the CSUEU has a firm stance on the petition, and they have not backed down to this day. When the petition first came out, it included logos of both CSUEU and the CFA, the California Faculty Association, but the Faculty Association was not consulted. They didn't know about the petition. It kind of just went out from the Employees Union. But as of right now, the CFA has backed down, and they are no longer supporting the petition.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think that adds a lot of much needed context for me and my viewers. I know there's a lot of confusion. Thank you so much for your time, and then back to you guys at the desk.
There are 34 days left into the presidential election. Fresno State is focusing on getting students ready to vote.
Reporter Jacqueline Alvarez spoke with the political science department on campus to find out why your vote is important.
Fresno State is home to more than 24,000 students. With all these potential student voters, the university is competing against all other CSU campuses to see who can register the most students to vote.
Are you all registered to vote? You want the fruit snacks?
Back on September 17th, ASI hosted Voter Registration Week.
One of the best things I've actually seen when I'm tabling out here is that a lot of our students are already registered. But those extra few students that might not register or might not think that their voice matters, we want to get to them and make sure that they're registering.
ASI wants you to register, but they also want you to vote. Dr. Lisa Bryant, the chair of the Political Science Department, says it's important to get involved and vote not only for presidential candidates, but also vote for local candidates and local policies that affect city funds.
I mean, all of this is about resources, right? Like, there's a finite amount of resources, and we have to decide how to distribute them. So thinking about who's going to be in charge of the distribution and what kinds of programs they're going to address, your local vote becomes really important.
Local elections are all about what's happening in your backyard, whether it has to do with increased funds for construction or lower funds for anything else. It's happening in your neck of the woods. The Student League of Women Voters on campus work to inform students about local policies and candidates. They want more students to vote for what they believe in.
If you don't vote, then there's no way that your voice is actually going to be made into policy, because the voting is the most direct form of civic engagement that you can do. And we are going to have to deal with the outcomes of these elections for much longer and much more than our older generation.
And students are showing interest.
Your vote is impactful, so by now, me being registered to vote, I do feel like I am helping out create change in the world as well.
Your voice and your vote does matter, and it could be the one vote to make all the difference in an election, especially locally. At Fresno State, Jacqueline Alvarez, Fresno State Focus.
October 21st is the last day to register to vote. You can check your registration status at voterstatus.sos.ca.gov. That's pretty important for students who may be registered at home but want to vote in Fresno County for November 5th election.
After tonight's newscast, the Fresno State Institute for Media and Public Trust will host an election misinformation seminar. This will take place at the Peters Educational Center on campus. The program will discuss misinformation about the election and address any questions people may have. The panelists are from the Political Science Department and the Media Communications and Journalism Department. The panelists will also help us learn how to identify misinformation in the future. There are 24 elected student representatives in ASI here at Fresno State.
ASI stands for Associated Students Incorporated. I talked with Rhythm Chataway earlier this week to find out why she decided to become a senator.
Honestly, I just wanted to be involved on campus, and I have been trying to get involved for the past year and a half, and ASI just felt like the perfect opportunity for me because ASI is the voice for students on campus, and I feel like every student needs to be heard no matter what, because we here at Fresno State are a community, and ASI just felt like the perfect place so I can voice my and everybody else's opinions the right way.
Okay, and how can students get involved if they're not in ASI?
ASI has a lot of opportunities. So for example, we have committees that are open to students, so if they want to join, for example, we have finance committees and external affairs, all of that. So I feel like that is one of the best ways to get involved with ASI, so they can also be putting their views, opinions, and our Senate meetings do have public comment if they ever have something to talk about. Also, for voting, we do have our elections every year in the spring semester, so that is also a perfect way for students to have anyone elected like the people they want.
Those Senate meetings are held on the second and third Wednesday of every month from 4 to 6 in the RSU. As you heard here, the student body is welcome.
It's officially fall, which means daylight saving time will end soon. During this time of year, law enforcement says there's a spike crime rate. Bianca Gonzalez spoke with students and a detective at the Fresno County Sheriff's Office to get advice on how you could stay safe during the darker nights.
We've all had to walk by ourselves to our cars at some point. Sometimes it's not that bad, especially during the day. But with daylight savings ending soon, it will get darker earlier and can be scary to walk from campus to your car. This issue is something that mostly affects women like Fresno State student Tina Lopez.
I felt pretty scared. I mean that's why I bought like a pepper spray, or you feel safer walking with a male friend.
Fresno State has campus police patrolling the lots throughout the day, which makes Kaya Walls feel safe.
I feel like I would be definitely more on guard, maybe hold my keys and walk more faster than I usually would compared to daylight. But I feel like at Fresno State it's more safer compared to being outside of campus.
Many classes here on campus run really late, and if you ever find yourself in a situation where you feel unsafe, Fresno State has these emergency light boxes right here where all you have to do is press this button. It alerts campus police to know exactly where you're at, and they'll come to your location.
Safety precautions aren't something to take into consideration only here on campus. Fresno County Sheriff's Homicide Detective Jose Diaz says if you're being attacked or feel unsafe around campus, there are ways to defend yourself.
Whatever it is you have, anything can be a weapon, right? A pen or pencil can be a weapon. As long as you're using it for the sole purpose of defending yourself, right? And it's something you can explain. Hey, you know what, officer? This person approached me out of the blue. I had my hydro flask in my hand, and I hit him with it.
Law enforcement wants to remind everyone if you're in a bad situation, try to keep calm and alert police as soon as possible. Reporting from the P20 parking lot at Fresno State, I'm Bianca Gonzalez, Fresno State Focus.
For more information on what you can do to stay safe, visit the Fresno County Sheriff's Department website. Coming up on Fresno State Focus, we take a look at the recent trombone concert in the music building and find out what's next.
Now, it has been very hot out, and I'll tell you what to expect for the weekend after the break.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission. At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Welcome back. My name is Jacqueline Alvarez, and I'm here to tell you about the weather today. If you take a look outside, this is how it looked earlier this morning. Over here, this is the view from the business building at Fresno State. So it's nice and sunny, no clouds at all. Okay, now let's take a look at the national satellite. Now here on the east side, you can see that there's remnants of that hurricane that happened this past week going through. So there's all that moisture. And right here on the west side, there is hardly any moisture. It's very nice and dry. Now let's take a look at the western satellite. Here, as I said, it's very nice and dry, nothing to worry about any type of rain. For today's highs, Fresno is at a high of 102, and the north side of California seems to be in an average high of above 100, so it's very hot today. Now for today's lows, in Fresno, it is a low of 66, and Mendota is a low of 65. Shaver Lake is also a low of 63. Go ahead and take a look at the air quality. So the air quality today is actually, well, for tomorrow is very unhealthy. So that's what goes for Fresno, Kern, and Sequoia National Park. And any other groups that are sensitive, you should be aware. That is your focus on weather. Back to you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Scooters are a popular way for students to get around campus, but this semester we're seeing a rise in scooters and bike thefts.
Alex Flores is live at one of the main places where students can keep their things secure.
Hello everyone, I'm live at Fresno State outside the McKee Fisk building at one of the very few bike barns that Fresno State provides on campus. Now with the increase of bike and scooter thefts that are going on campus, Fresno State recommends that students, faculty, and staff actually use these bike barns to secure their bikes and scooters. In order to get into one of these bike barns, all you need is your Fresno State Bulldog ID. Go ahead and swipe it, wait for the green to open. Now do be careful because the door is heavy and a lot of people don't realize that. But as you can see, not a lot of people really use this. It's very empty. So please come use these facilities that Fresno State offers to you. Perfect example of what to do is this bike over here with the chain. A lot of people use the chain, very secure, as you can see. It ain't going nowhere. But another preferred option that people like to use is the U-lock, preferably for scooters. Obviously, you can't take this one. But simply just come in, use your Fresno State ID card, use these really quick and simple compartments to lock up your bikes and scooters. And President Saul Jimenez Sandoval recommended it to all of us in his emails to avoid all of the stolen scooters and bikes, to use these compartments. But anyways, to wrap it up, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Alex. Keep your ear tuned to the Fresno State Music Concert Hall. This international musicians often stop by and wow the crowds, like earlier this week. Trombonist Sergio Simons from Portugal played on Tuesday along with other musicians. A Fresno State professor conducted a large part of the recital. The show consisted of different compositions dating as far back as 1580. Music students were happy to see their classmates in the brass band play alongside Simons.
My favorite part of the recital was seeing all the members come together at the very end and play beautiful music with a unified goal, unified sound. It was amazing.
The student choir brought everyone together with the last performance to close the show. Simons was bowing to pay respect to everyone who performed. The crowd gave a big applause at the end of the show. The next event will be a cello recital this Saturday at the Music Concert Hall. Tickets can be purchased online at Ticket Source.
There are about 30 to 40 million stray cats in the U.S. Many people have mixed feelings about how to control cat populations.
This is Soxy. She's going to be up for adoption. She's a very sweet girl. Can you hear her purring? She's cute.
Each cat can produce up to 24 kittens per year. TNR stops the breeding cycle of cats and improves their well-being.
The focus is to be TNR, strictly TNR, which is trap, neuter, and return. It's not release. Everybody says release, but return is where you take the cat back where you got it.
If a cat goes without food for 2 to 3 days, it will become malnourished and most likely won't survive. There are lots of cat feeding stations all over campus. Just take a look and maybe you'll see some cats. Fresno State has their own strays on campus that get fed by the Fresno State Red Wave TNR.
I have seen a lot of the little feeders around. In fact, the feeders right behind me are almost always full. In fact, I saw someone put out a very big box of the little frisky treats.
Fresno State isn't the only campus with stray cats. Many have strays, such as Wheatley College and Fresno City. Wheatley College even put up signs to stop feeding them. Many see cats on campus as a bad thing, while others see the benefit.
There's been times where I'm sitting over on the benches doing homework or studying, and I'm having a full mental breakdown, and then a little kitty will run past me, and it just kind of solves all my problems. So I personally think it's a good thing.
Cats are cute to look at, but making sure they are neutered will help keep the population down.
The best option is to prevent more from being born by spay and neuter.
There are many places that have affordable spay and neuter options. Go to spaycalifornia.org to find your nearest options. Finding the right job can be hard. Fresno State is hosting a career fair to help find what's best for you. The Career and Development Center is helping students connect with possible future employers. This career fair also helps students to learn more about the job hunt and how to make new networking connections.
And it's important to just get comfortable talking to folks. And this is a great place to do that and make connections. Connections are what really are going to help you get that internship or career position.
Willis says she has seen many people get jobs and internships from the career fair. Tomorrow is the second day of the career fair. It will be from 11 to 3 in the Ruiz Ballroom at the RSU. Food prices have gone up, but the Fresno State Student Cupboard offers free food to students. Students can visit the food cupboard by picking up items like canned goods, snacks, baby products such as diapers, and other much-needed items. The goal is to support students so they can focus on their studies without worrying about where their next meal will come from.
We offer items like dairy items, almond milk. Sometimes we have meat, bread, drinks, and then also canned items, beans, rice, shelf-stable items like that. But yeah, so students can come once a day, every day, Monday through Friday.
The cupboard is open all semester long for any student who needs food.
Students at Fresno State can learn more about their BMI or body mass index. Every first Tuesday of the month, you can go to the Student Rec Center to learn more about your BMI. Students can receive informational brochures about the health center on the campus, and there are even free snacks. BMI is tested with a handheld device.
The health center really likes to come over to the Student Rec Center. There's a lot of students that are exercising, again, working on those physical health goals, and they appreciate having the free body fat and BMI testing measurements.
To find out your BMI, you have to fill out a form, and then you will be tested. Pretty easy and quick. Students at Fresno State can get a hands-on experience working with Fresno State's athletics department in the creative department as an intern. The person who runs the internship program is the Director of Creative Services, Andrew Worth. Andrew, how are you doing today, my friend?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty good, my friend. Okay, what does the Creative Services do for the athletic department?
So specifically, my team and I, we overlook anything photo, video, and graphics, and that's generally places such as social media is a big one, but TV, radio, anything publicly facing from the athletics department is what we look at.
And with the internship, what is the process for a student to apply for the internship in your program?
To apply, really, you just have to reach out. We're always accepting new students every semester. It's whether you reach out on any social media platform to me, if you email, call, walk into our office, whatever it might be, we'll start up a conversation and we'll just kind of go from there, and usually people are accepted.
And what's your email address?
aworth@mail.fresnostate.edu.
And what, you have had a lot of students come through your program. What is the one thing you want students to take away from being a part of the Creative Services Department as it being an intern?
At its like sole possession, it's get you up to speed, be able to get you into the workforce right after you graduate or right after you finish your internship with us. We want you to be able to walk in, set up a camera, put it all together, go do the shoot, edit whatever you need to, again, photo, graphics, video, whatever you need to do. We want to be able to take you and put you into the workforce and not just be a good light on yourself, but be a good light on us, because obviously we're the ones that taught them, and just giving them the resources to be able to have a job and do it successfully.
Well, that's good to hear. Andrew, thank you so much for hopping on, and we'll see you down the road.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Coming up in sports, we look at the men's basketball team to see how they're preparing for their upcoming season. Plus, we learn more about a former Bulldog Devontae Adams requesting a trade. Stay tuned for sports with Efren Mata.
I got the Bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that Bulldog spirit up in my head. Up in my head to say. I got that Bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that Bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit down in my toes. Hey, down in my toes to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit all over me to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit
deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart, deep in my heart. I got that Bulldog spirit.
Welcome back. I'm Efren Mata with your Focus on Sports. Congratulations to the Fresno State women's golf team for finishing 9th overall at the Pat Lesser Harbottle Invitational in Tacoma, Washington. The Dogs are back home after the 2-day competition. Leading the pack was Vanessa Vu, who had the best day of her career. She placed 9th overall, her first time ever placing within the top 10. Moving on to women's tennis, they'll kick off today with the fall qualifier in Las Vegas. Top players from multiple conferences will compete in the 4-day tournament for NCAA individual qualifying bid. This means the winner of this tournament will get an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament at the end of the season. Good luck, Bulldogs. It wouldn't hurt to punch your ticket to the postseason just a little bit early. Moving on to football, there is no football this weekend. But that might be good for the Dogs. That's right. After being dismantled by UNLV, the Dogs have their bye week, and they get the chance to get right back to basics. This team is looking to bounce back next Saturday, hopefully scoring more touchdowns like this, as they'll be hosting the 4-1 Washington State Cougars. If you're going to the game, make sure to wear your cowboy outfit because the theme for that game is boots and buckles. Devontae Adams might be on the move again. The former Bulldog requested a trade on Tuesday after only 2 full seasons with the Raiders. Adams originally left Green Bay to team up with former teammate Derek Carr. Carr was released by the Raiders at the end of the duo's first season together. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports one of Adams' preferred destinations includes the Saints. That means the Red Wave may see Carr and Adams reunite for a second time in the NFL. The basketball season is now getting a lot closer than you'd think. The Bulldogs are looking a lot different from last season, and that starts with Vance Volberg. The Dogs held their third official practice at the North Gym this past Monday. The new man in charge talks about what the fans can expect from their new squad.
I think it's phenomenal. We want to play in those types of games. I think you're going to see next year, we're in a process right now of having 1 or 2 really big games. I can't tell you yet who it's going to be, but we're in that process.
The new Dogs consist of 14 new players and only 2 returning. Their first game will be on November 8th at the Save Mart Center against Sacramento State. That's your Focus on Sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Mata. The Paris Olympics just wrapped up a couple of months ago, and a Fresno State professor was there as a referee. I sat down with Brigham Beatty to learn more.
At Fresno State, you might have a class taught by somebody who's been a part of the Olympics. Meet Brigham Beatty, or Brig, to his friends. He teaches in the kinesiology department. Beatty's a beach volleyball referee who's gone to the Olympic Games twice. As a student at Fresno State, Beatty played club volleyball and started refereeing to pay for his schooling.
I was striving from the very first time I started refereeing, and I saw, people refereeing in the Olympics, and I thought, well, could I possibly do that if I kept doing this?
Another Fresno State alum, referee and coordinator Brad Showalter, got Beatty interested in refereeing.
Refereeing with him was in high school and college ranks, was something that we did. We really enjoyed.
Beatty reffed at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021. He says the experience was unusual because of the lockdown restrictions during the COVID-19 pandemic. The 2024 Paris Olympics was his first real experience with the fans.
The Olympic experience with Paris was quite spectacular with all the people.
The beach volleyball venue in Paris where Beatty worked was right near the historic Eiffel Tower.
Iconic. The backdrop of the Eiffel Tower is amazing, and me getting to work night matches and seeing it light up at 10 o'clock every night.
When Beatty is not reffing indoor volleyball or beach volleyball, he's in the class teaching one of his favorite subjects, the history of the Olympics.
Wade Gilbert is a professor in the kinesiology department. He says that the Olympics class takes care of a writing requirement.
Everyone would have some familiarity with or some connection to either watching the Olympics or have heard of the Olympics.
It adds a lot to the class, I think, being able to come back and tell the students, like, hey, this is what it was like.
The Olympics are coming to Los Angeles in 2028, and Beatty's goal is to ref again. He told me that refs are needed for many sports, including volleyball. If you hadn't had the chance to meet the live mascot Victory Bulldog, there's an opportunity for you to see him every week.
Victor makes an appearance every Wednesday in the RSU or the Memorial Garden with his coordinator, Alexis Camarillo. Students can stop by and take pictures and get love from Victor in return. To keep up with Victory Bulldog, you can check out his Instagram at VictorEBulldog.
So, have you ever had a chance to meet Victory Bulldog?
I have had a chance. I believe I've met him about 3 times. How about you?
I know I've only met him once, and it was kind of funny that he came up to me, actually. I was like, whoa, hey, how you doing, Victor? It was a really fun experience. Having a live mascot, having him come up and give you hugs and kisses and stuff, especially during finals when it's all stressful, that makes it a lot of fun having Victor on campus.
He's kind of like a little celebrity. He rides around in that little cart, and he's like I don't know, I feel like he has fans on him and stuff all the time.
Well, would you want to drive that golf cart, Marisol?
I would. I love golf carts. They're so much fun. I drive them at work all the time, so I think it's a lot of fun. Next week on Fresno State Focus, we look at a mural on campus. There's an interesting history behind it. We're talking about one on the Science 2 building.
Plus, we learn about the Discover East Center on campus and how much we can all get some needed free tech help.
Also, I will be live at the Big Fresno Fair. I'm working on getting in on the livestock barn.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.